There are a lot of cool websites that use artificial intelligence these days. I'm sure you're familiar with some of them, but I've always enjoyed playing around with them and seeing what I can get out of them. And somewhere along the line, I started getting ideas for how I could bring some of them together to try and make something a little fun and a little weird, a little wacky. So what I did first was I used AI Dungeon, which is an AI role-playing bot, to write up a fanfiction. This was pretty straightforward stuff. I just gave it a sentence, and then I repeatedly told it to just continue the story until I felt like I'd hit some sort of conclusion. Only editing in, like, if it tried to say things like you, like I didn't want any second-person stuff, or fixing. Sometimes it would get a little bit too nonsensical, and I try to course-correct it back into something resembling a story. And then I just kept going until I hit an end, and then anytime it gave me a new character, I would change the character from whatever name it said to a character whose voice is available on UberDuck. And UberDuck is a website that uses AI to read whatever lines you give it in famous voices, sort of like a text-to-speech, except it sounds a little bit more natural, and it tries to sound like characters from cartoons or celebrities or things like that. So I did this because I wanted UberDuck to quote-unquote voice act the script I'd written, or the AI Dungeon had written. And then I did a couple other little things. I used Deep Dream Generator to make some interesting backgrounds, and I used Rave.dj to make some mashup background music, all of which I took and used in RenPy, which is a, I don't know if it's pronounced RenPy or RenPy, but it's a program that lets you make visual novels. And I thought this could be like an interesting visual representation of the story, so it's not just me reading the story. You can kind of see it come to life. So I'm going to read that story now, with the UberDuck voices added in whenever there's dialogue. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to start the story, so I thought, I'll just lean into a meme. I'll reference a meme that will probably be dead or old by the time this video goes up, but that's okay, because I'm usually behind on these things anyway. So this is the story that AI Dungeon gave me. Twilight Sparkle was on a date with her boyfriend, Mordecai.
So you're ready to go?
He asks.
Yeah.
She says,
I guess we could stay here and play video games all day.
You're not going to be able to do that.
He complains.
We have to get out of this town. We'll never make it in time for the concert.
I think you're forgetting that we can teleport.
Says Twilight.
Yeah, but only short distances.
Says Ginny Wakeman.
We need to get at least another 10 over.
Maybe we should just teleport to the concert hall and avoid all this hassle.
Says Angel Dust.
Great idea, Genius.
Says Ginny.
Let's do that. All right, then.
Yeah.
Says Spike.
Let's go to the concert!
Everyone seems to have forgotten that they need to get out of this town. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're too selfish. In any case, the group starts to teleport, but something goes wrong.
What the fuck? My head!
Yells Spike.
I just felt my neck and fucking broke.
Says Mike.
We need a hospital.
Cries Twilight. The first thing they notice upon appearing is how vastly different this city is. It's northeastern from the town they just teleported from. It also looks to be much older as well. The streets are much narrower and many of them are cracked. The buildings themselves are made of stone rather than brick. There's no trace of the music park anywhere.
Where the fuck are we?
Asks Spike.
I dunno. We must have teleported into someone else's territory.
Says Twilight. The next thing they notice is how cold it is. This isn't just a colder version of the city they just left. This is actual cold. It's winter in this city and it's getting dark, which means there's no illumination except for the moon and the stars.
Oh dear God! Is this a shadow?
Says Spike.
I feel awful!
No, that's just the cold.
Says Mike.
I don't think there's any shadows around.
Let's just find a fucking hotel and get some sleep.
Angel Dust suggests.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Agrees Spike. The group decides to find a hotel and just crash on the first floor for the night. As they're all exhausted, Mordecai heads towards a nearby building.
I'll be right back.
He says.
I just have to go across the street and get some booze.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yells Angel Dust.
You're going to get drunk in the middle of the fucking night in between a shadow city and a cold winter's night.
I'm not planning on getting drunk.
He says.
I just need to get some bottles. I'll be right back.
Being the gentleman he is, Spike volunteers to go with him and go get the booze.
I'll go with you.
Says Mike.
It's too much of a risk for that little dick of yours.
Fuck you, Mikey.
He replies. As Mordecai, Spike, and Mike leave, Twilight approaches Angel Dust.
Yeah, you're the one who knew about this place, right? Do you live here?
Yeah, I live here.
he says.
This used to be a sort of scenic village a long time ago.
Twilight nods.
I see. Do you know when the city went to shit?
Dunno, before my time, I guess. Is there a reason why you were asking about us?
Yeah. We're just wandering around and looking at the architecture.
Architecture? You're not with the carpenters, are you?
Says a shadow.
What? No, we're not.
My name's Shadow.
Says the shadow.
What are you here, if not with the carpenters?
We're just some people.
Says Twilight.
You look more like some people who want to ask questions that important people.
Says Shadow.
I'd advise against it.
Do you know where we can find the owner of this place?
Asks Ginny.
We're supposed to meet someone here.
The owner left this city a long time ago.
Says Shadow.
He was a strange guy. The last time I saw him, I don't think he was even born yet.
How do you know?
Asks Ginny.
Have you met him?
I'm not talking about it.
Says Shadow.
We have to know.
Says Ginny.
We're going to leave soon. Need to know where to go.
Shadow looks around and sighs.
Fine, but I'm telling you, it's a long story.
We have time.
Says Angel Dust. Shadow looks at his hands for a moment before beginning to talk.
Do you know who Mr. Dream is?
He asks.
No. Well, Mr. Dream was the owner of this place.
We don't know any Mr. Dream.
Says Twilight.
Now, it's a long story.
Says Shadow. Shadow begins to tell them how he used to live in the city of Nightfall with his wife and 2 children. One day, Mr. Dream arrived in Nightfall and started making deals with the mayor. Shadow was a poor city mouse who was on good terms with the mayor, and so Mr. Dream hired him to make some furniture for his castle. Shadow was really happy about getting paid, but the mayor had to lay off hundreds of other workers as he cut back on costs. The mayor knew Shadow's family were hungry, so he gave him a deal. He could have work, and his family would be taken care of, as long as he dealt with the undesirables that Mr. Dream didn't want to deal with. So he became a problem solver, as the mayor put it. The citizens hated him for it, and he stopped getting work from Mr. Dream. He was too well known now. One day, he tried to deal with some thugs who had been bothering some girls at a local school. He killed them all, and the militia hunted him down. He tells them that, after his family died in a fire he caused while trying to warm his children, he eventually came to work for Mr. Cervix.
Who is Mr. Cervix?
Ginny asks.
Never heard of him.
Says Angel Dust.
I thought so.
Says Shadow.
Don't ask him any questions, because he'll just get mad and raise your rate.
Why'd he fire you?
Asks Twilight.
He's Mr. Cervix. He doesn't fire his employees.
Oh,
Says Twi.
so that's why those 2 are after you.
Says Ginny.
That's some pretty terrible life you've had, Shadow.
It's okay now.
He says.
I'm with Mr. Dream now. I'm better than ever.
How?
Asks Angel Dust.
By dealing with 2 idiots that are too stupid to even rob a store.
Hey,
He says Shadow.
I'm not fucking stupid. I was the best thief in all of Sakani. If in all I was this,
Yeah, but your family dead and all.
Says Angel Dust.
You really think that now you're some kind of super thief?
I don't need to be a super thief,
Says Shadow.
because I'm already the best.
Whatever.
I could steal the moon from Mr. Dream if he wanted me to.
Says Shadow, staring at the group.
You know that, right? I could do that and not even break a sweat.
Says Ginny.
Really? Why didn't you tell us? We could have worked with you.
You 2 are together.
Asks Shadow.
Together like a married couple.
I'm dating Mordecai.
Twilight says.
Well, that would be cool.
Says Shadow.
But Mr. Dream needs someone a little younger than me.
How young?
Asks Ginny.
18 would be perfect.
Says Shadow.
I don't need anyone much younger than that.
I don't think I'd suit Mr. Dream.
Says Ginny.
Anyway, that's great. But are you currently working for him?
Says Shadow.
I'm working with Mr. Dream right now. I'm trying to rob the bank in Nightfall.
The bank?
Asks Ginny.
Why?
Why not?
Asks Shadow.
It's a bank. You rob banks. Don't you? I thought you detectives did.
We don't just go around robbing banks.
Says Ginny.
That's, well, it isn't legal. Anyway,
I thought you said you were a detective.
Asks Shadow.
I am.
Says Ginny.
But just because I investigate crimes doesn't mean I'll go running to the cops if I find a crime in progress. I do some intelligence gathering before I make a scene.
Undercover work. I understand.
Just because you're friends with the criminal element doesn't mean you have to act like one.
says Ginny.
Robbing a bank isn't going to help you in the long run.
Well, I think Mr. Dream will provide better than your average run-of-the-mill bank,
says Shadow.
Besides, the militia is such a pain in the ass that I figure this'll be a much easier robbery.
So, why do you need us?
Asks Ginny.
I don't.
Says Shadow.
Mr. Dream can handle things himself. I just need 2 people to perform a social act during the robbery.
What?
Asks Ginny.
You don't think we can spare some booze and pillows and stuff for the getaway car?
No, that's not what I need you for.
Says Shadow.
I've already got a driver.
You have to pretend to be your hostages.
Says Angel Dust, staring intently at Shadow.
Why?
Asks Ginny.
Why would you need us to be your hostages?
So when the militia comes busting down your door, you will have an explanation for why 2 famous detectives are in your house.
Says Shadow.
Just say that we were kidnapped and you need the militia to help you rescue us.
This really isn't necessary.
Says Ginny.
We could be of more help to you in other ways.
I don't want to put you in any potential danger.
Says Shadow.
I really don't.
It's no trouble.
Says Angel Dust.
We're detectives, not ex-Hollywoodos or something. We can handle being kidnapped.
Shadow nods.
Okay,
Shadow tosses Angel Dust a set of handcuffs.
put these on.
And he says,
You'll have to take care of our driver.
You wanted to cuff her.
asks Ginny.
No,
Says Shadow.
he's a big boy. He can handle it if he tries to run. Just make sure he doesn't get away.
Ginny restrains Angel Dust. Says Angel Dust.
These are really uncomfortable.
You'll get used to them.
Says Shadow.
Just try not to struggle too much.
Shadow tosses a set of keys to Ginny.
Take our vehicle and go.
He says,
I'll deal with the driver.
What about me?
asks Angel Dust.
You're coming with me.
Says Shadow.
I'll release you when we get the money.
But I need to stay here.
Complains Angel Dust.
Someone needs to keep an eye on the place.
You really don't want to be released. Trust me.
Says Shadow.
Now come on.
Shadow and Angel Dust leave in a hurry.
I guess we better follow them.
Says Ginny. Twilight follows Ginny to the crime scene, where she stays behind the police tape. She steps inside briefly before coming back out, carrying a bag of loot.
Hey, it wasn't locked.
She says,
So,
asks Ginny.
it still has the security tag on it.
Security tags can be easily removed.
Says Shadow.
That's how we're getting in and out of most banks these days. Would you rather go in the front door with a shotgun or flashlight and be caught by the alarm?
I suppose not.
Says Ginny.
Shadow, will we really get the money?
If they're anything like their dad, we will.
Says Shadow.
Although, I'm not as worried about that since I've got a hostage.
Great.
Says Ginny.
Now I guess we should go back to the hotel and figure out what to kidnap next.
Actually, I was thinking we should go to the palace.
Says Twilight.
Tell them everything.
You just want to get me arrested.
Laughs Shadow.
This is your big moment. You can tell them everything you want. I won't even be able to do anything about it.
No, it's not like you think.
Says Twilight.
I was thinking more along the lines of, we could all get arrested. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world and it would probably even help our case.
What? All of us?
Asks Ginny.
Why?
The more people who are arrested, the better.
Says Twilight.
But why would you get arrested?
Asks Shadow.
You're a Pawnee. You don't even have to turn in your weapon or anything.
I've been following the news.
Says Twilight.
It's a new law. Any pony that is directly involved in a kidnapping will be sentenced to death.
Me.
Says Shadow.
Do what you want, I suppose.
No, you don't want to do what you want.
Says Ginny.
This is your big chance to get out of this life. You're not going to do that just by kidnapping people and getting arrested.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Asks Shadow.
Go to jail. Stay in Ponyville and rot. I don't have that option.
Yes, you do.
Says Ginny.
You have the option to become a syndicate member.
What's so bad about being a Pawnee?
He asks Shadow.
I thought you were a syndicate member.
I was,
Says Ginny.
but I got eliminated.
What does that mean?
Asks Shadow.
Do you want to get back in the gang?
Well, yeah,
Says Ginny.
but it's not that simple. There are a lot of other ponies there that aren't exactly the most stable.
What about that little filly you were looking after?
Asks Shadow.
She wouldn't be in the way, would she?
That's not it.
Says Ginny.
I just don't want you to get in any more trouble for me.
But it's not like I'd have to actually do anything.
Says Shadow.
I could just hang around and look intimidating and it would still be a great help to you. And I could keep my own head down. And I could eat but it might. It would. Into you tend to give in it and dig in it. Can
No,
says Ginny.
I can't risk getting you involved in any more trouble. This is on you. I don't want to put you in danger either.
What?
Says Shadow.
No,
Says Ginny. The police begin to arrive at the scene.
That's them.
Says Shadow.
let's go.
Says Ginny.
Wait,
Says Shadow.
you're just going to leave me here?
Yes,
Says Ginny.
it's either that or get beaten up and possibly killed.
I can't let you leave like this.
Says Shadow.
I don't want to see you get hurt.
Ginny turns and puts her eyes onto Shadow. He stands up straight and looks into her eyes as well. They're both on edge.
Are you really sure about this?
Asks Shadow.
Yes,
Says Ginny. Shadow looks away and breathes deep. Then he looks into Ginny's eyes again.
I'm sorry.
He says. And with that, Shadow gallops away. Ginny doesn't do anything except stand there. Soon, the two of them are out of sight.
Well,
Angel Dust says,
I'm still handcuffed.
It's not your fault.
says the police officer.
The kid made his own choices.
With that, Twilight, Ginny, and Angel Dust are taken into custody. The end for now. So that was the story I got. And what a ride it turned into, right? Did you enjoy it? I would love to know if this was entertaining for anyone else but me. I kind of like to see if I can get the AI Dungeon to maybe continue the story, maybe check back in with Mordecai, Spike, and Mike, see what they were up to. But let me know what you thought, and thanks for watching. Bye.